so much for having me today. I think resilience is a perfect topic. It's what we certainly hope to build in the women that we serve at Ada Women's Center. And so today, I hope that we can explore how our human search for meaning and connection can help us build resilience in everyday life. So before we start, I want you to just take a moment. Think of one word that describes your current experience of resilience. Maybe hope, endurance, uncertainty, tired. Just take a few seconds and think of a word. I want you to hold on to that word because we'll come back to it later. So when we're talking about spirituality is that inner place where we find meaning, belonging, and purpose. It's not limited to religious practice. Faith may express it. It's also found, though, in quiet reflection, gratitude, or connection with nature. It's the part of us that keeps asking what truly matters here. Spirituality strengthens us in at least 5 ways. Our perspective. I always say someone's perspective is their reality. And if you can just shift your perspective, you shift your reality. And I can never talk about perspective without telling a story. In my early recovery journey, I didn't realize how often I would say hard. And I guess I said it a lot because my sponsor said, "You're no longer allowed to use the word hard." Every time you want to say hard, I want you to say, "This is different." What a shift in perspective. I did realize how often I said hard because I had to, then change that to say, "This is different." And it completely shifted my perspective and what a gift she gave to me. Another principle of spirituality is hope. And hope keeps optimism alive even when things are heavy, because life can feel pretty heavy at times. It has felt very heavy for me in the last year, but I try to keep hope alive in my spirit. The third principle of spirituality is connection. Remembering that we're not alone. I've often heard that the opposite of addiction is connection. Addiction lives in isolation. Despair lives in isolation. But when we can connect with another human being, it keeps spirituality open and alive. Connection is really why we're all here. Everyone wants to connect. Everyone wants to belong. Everyone wants to love and be loved. And connection is really powerful. A fourth principle of spirituality is simply coping. That can be through prayer, mindfulness, gratitude, whatever helps you stay grounded. Gratitude is a powerful coping mechanism. It's another thing that I learned in recovery, and acts of service is something that I learned in recovery. If I began complaining, whining, doing those kinds of things, my sponsor, she would give me 2 assignments. She would have me write a gratitude list every day for a week, and it had to be 10 items on the list, and I couldn't use the same thing twice within the week. The other thing she would have me do is go to Our Daily Bread and serve. And when you serve, my things would become very small. My woes and the things I was whining and complaining about felt very, very small. And gratitude is just a powerful thing. The other lesson that I've learned about gratitude is an action. I remember also early in my recovery, this guy had this really old truck. It was a really old truck, but man, did he take care of it. And I commented one day, I go, why are you always shining up that old truck? And he said, because I'm grateful for it. How does your car look right now? I did not want to show him how my car looked right then, because it would have indicated that I was not grateful for my car. And so gratitude is an action. If you're grateful for a relationship, foster it. Show the gratitude. If you're grateful for your job, do good work. If you're grateful for this congregation, show up for those that are here. Connect with them. Gratitude is an action. And when we keep gratitude in our life and present, it can really act as a very effective coping mechanism. Finally, the fifth value that I want to tie to spirituality are our values. Acting from compassion and integrity, even in stress. Not allowing the noise of the world to rob me of my integrity. My integrity is mine. You can't take it from me. Your integrity is yours, right? And so we may be tempted sometimes with the noise of the world to step outside of our integrity. But we want to stay true to our values and stay true to ourselves. And each of these tools can become a thread that weaves strength into everyday life. Meaning making is definitely a part of resilience and a way that spirituality can foster resilience. Resilience doesn't erase hardship, it transforms it. When life feels unfair, spirituality invites us a deeper question. What might this experience be teaching me? That small shift from why me to what now moves us from resistance into reflection and from fear towards growth. One of the greatest lessons I've learned about fear came from my husband. He wasn't my husband at the time, but when I was picking up my 3-year medallion, he was presenting me the medallion. And he gets in front of everyone and he started by saying, "Fear is the absence of faith." And everybody went, "Yep." They're all agreeing with him. And he went, "Well, that's a crock. That's the biggest crock I've ever heard." He said, "Let me tell you what faith is. Faith is waking up every day terrified that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you don't have enough, and you get up and you do it anyway. That is the active practice of faith." And I loved that message. And I continue to share it because it was so profound for me. I'm a human being. I'm going to be afraid. But when I don't let that fear stop me from moving forward, I'm actively practicing faith. And I'm actively using spirituality to build my resilience. Spiritual coping really looks different for everyone. It can be prayer, it can be journaling, meditation, time outdoors, being of service. Every one of those things can restore calm and balance in us. I'll never forget my time serving at Our Daily Bread as a way to reflect on my own life and my own things that felt so heavy. They didn't feel so heavy anymore, right? And it could help restore some balance in me. So when we look at things this way, hope is not naive positivity. It's the quiet trust that growth is possible, even when the outcomes are uncertain. It's knowing that we can both hold grief and faith simultaneously. So before we move further, I would like to invite you to practice a calming anchor and some stillness. It's just 5 minutes, and I'd like to experience it together We're going to listen to a short 5-minute meditation, and it's an example of a calming anchor, something that centers you when life feels overwhelming. And I hope that you'll be able to hear this. I'm going to point the microphone down right to my phone here. I'm going to make sure my volume is turned all the way up. So if you will, just get in a comfortable spot, whatever feels comfortable for you, and think about what you want to be your calming anchor. It can be a sensory cue, the breath, it can be a verse, a word, an image, or it can be holding an object that feels grounding. So we're going to just take 5 minutes together.
Hey there, and thanks for gifting yourself these next few minutes. It's important to remember that you're a priority, and allowing yourself even just a few short minutes of intentional reflection can really have a positive impact on the rest of your day. So let's use these next few minutes to come back to center and set an intention for the rest of your day. Move into a comfortable position, whether you're seated at your desk at work or laying on the couch at home, and gently close your eyes and shift all of your attention onto your breathing, taking slower, deeper breaths than you've taken all day so far, taking a deep breath in through your nose and slowly letting it out through your mouth. And continuing to breathe that way, feeling your lungs expand out as you inhale and contract back in as you exhale. Tune into your body, noticing how it feels, noticing if there's anything that it's trying to tell you. Notice any place of tension or tightness in your body. Give those areas permission to relax, sending love into those areas. Thank your body for taking such good care of you, and let it know that it's okay to rest and relax for these next few minutes. You may notice that your mind starts to wander off. That's okay. That's natural. Just notice it and bring your attention back to your body, using your breath as your anchor. Try to picture one thing that's happened today that's made you smile, or made you thankful or appreciative. And just let that feeling fill you up for a moment. Breathe that feeling in from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And allow yourself to smile if that feels natural. Now focus on something that you can do today, whether it's for yourself or for someone else, that will allow you to continue feeling this way. It could be something as small as deciding to go to bed early tonight, so that you have time to finally read that book that's been on your bedside table, or the joy of getting dinner with a close friend. What's one little thing you can plan for your day to bring that intentional joy to it? Now just focus on that for a few minutes. Sit in that feeling of joy and peace. Now let's take a few more deep breaths together. A deep breath in, feeling your lungs expand out as you inhale, and everything contract back in as you exhale. Again, an even deeper breath than the one before it, holding that breath for a beat. exhaling everything out. Last time, your deepest breath yet, sending that breath through your entire body. And exhale it out, and in your own time, slowly bring your awareness back to where you are. And thank yourself for taking these few minutes to just be intentional and kind to yourself. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and enjoy the rest of your day.
How's everybody doing? I hope that you experienced how just that brief pause of 5 minutes, 5 minutes of silence or gentle sound is enough to reset our body and our mind. Pauses like this can become part of your daily anchors, and it can help you meet challenges with calm and clarity. And it's only 5 minutes. I really encourage you to recognize when you could benefit from those 5 minutes and know that you have time. I don't know about y'all, but my life is controlled by time. It's controlled by my calendar. That's why I love going to the mountains where my husband and I just got back from, because the sun's either up or the sun's either down, and that's all that matters, right? And this doesn't work. So that's really the best part. But just know that you can take 5 minutes at any time and anchor yourself, and that will help you meet whatever challenge is in front of you with more calmness and more clarity. Moving on to talk more about community and support, spirituality thrives in connection. None of us are meant to do this life alone. When we share truthfully, pain and hope alike, community becomes medicine. It's really the principles of 12-step recovery. Every shared story multiplies strength. Your courage helps me, and my story might help you. Just like I've shared some personal experiences today, whenever things like that are shared with me about faith or changing my perspective from hard to different, I love to share that with someone else, and that's community. And so whenever we are connecting with others, being vulnerable, sharing both our story and our courage, that's resilience in motion. That's resilience in action. Resilience deepens when our actions match our values. Every time that we choose compassion over bitterness, or honesty over convenience, we strengthen our spiritual backbone. Sometimes those decisions aren't easy, but when we stay within our integrity and our values, we strengthen our spiritual backbone. Living from our values turns struggle into character. I want to just talk about a couple of myths concerning spirituality and resilience. I think the biggest myth, and I'm sure all of you have heard this myth, some people think spirituality is religion, and it's not. Religion is a very organized set of beliefs and ceremonies and things of that nature, and spirituality is so much broader than a specific creed. It's a fundamental human need for purpose and connection. That's what spirituality is. I think the most common myth about resilience, and I'm sure all of you have heard, resilient people bounce back. They bounce back instantly, like rubber bands, snapping right into shape after the stretch. But in reality, resilience seldom happens overnight. It's a gradual process of healing and transformation. When adversity strikes, resilient people don't leap back unscarred, then move through pain with patience and reflection. They may rest, grieve, rebuild, learning at every step what matters the most. And then over time, they don't just bounce back, they bounce forward. They're not the same person as they were before the struggle. They bounce forward, emerging wiser, softer, and braver than before. I love that definition of resilience more than bouncing back, right? Because we're ever changing, time changes us, our experiences change us. Everything I've been through in my life up to this moment has made me the woman that I am. And I am at a place in my life today, I wasn't always, where I can honestly say I wouldn't change any of it, because I wouldn't be this person. And I kind of like this person. I didn't always like her either. And so think of resilience as bouncing forward rather than bouncing back, because resilience changes us. True resilience is about depth. It's not about speed. It's about growth born from experience, not perfection or instant recovery. I want to revisit the word you chose at the beginning. I hope you can remember it. Has it changed? Did fatigue soften into peace or uncertainty into hope? The shift, however small, if a shift happened with that word, is resilience at work. The heart and the spirit learn to recalibrate. As we close, I invite you to carry one calming anchor into the coming week: a breath, a prayer, a word, a quiet pause. And may you continue to bounce forward with presence, purpose, and peace. Thank you.